In most early civilizations, religious leaders had a lot of power. Rulers were often priests as well. That was true in ancient India too. The songs and hymns of the Vedas guided how people thought and acted. The Brahmins, the upper class of priests, were in charge of making the proper sacrifices of food or animals to the many gods and goddesses. People believed that these rituals would influence whether they had enough rain or that their crops would grow. Then, sometime around 500 BCE, some people began to think differently. They asked serious questions like, how should people live? What happens after death? What is right and wrong? Teachers known as gurus began to explore these ideas with their students. They moved toward the idea that there was something more beyond the Vedic gods, some power or spiritual force that existed in all things. These ideas survive in religious writings called the Upanishads. The Upanishads taught the basic belief that there's one central spiritual force, that is Brahman. Other gods are forms of Brahman, though they may take different forms and have different names. The Upanishads also taught that everyone has a soul that is born and reborn many times in different bodies. This is called reincarnation. What determines one's next life is karma, how good or evil your previous life has been. Around the same period, two epic poems also became part of Hindu thinking. They are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. These poems are colorful, exciting tales about heroes and villains and wars. People still read and enjoy them today. At the same time, though, the poems deal with important beliefs about life and the soul and people's relationships with the gods. As Hinduism developed, it set up four major goals for believers. The first is dharma, the duty to do the right thing for wherever you are in life. Dharma also includes avoiding doing harm to other living things. The second goal is striving for well-being, such as by earning a living or raising a family, while the third is pleasure. But those two are not enough by themselves. They have to include dharma as well. Finally, Hindus try to reach moksha. That's when a person's soul no longer is reborn over and over, but finally becomes a part of Brahman. Hinduism spread through most of India, even though people spoke different languages and had different rulers. Many people even worshipped different older gods, but Hinduism accepted them as simply other forms of Brahman. They could follow Hinduism but still worship their earlier gods as well. That tolerance was one thing that helped the new religion spread into other parts of Asia. Traders and priests carried it into Pakistan and as far as the islands in Indonesia. Later, Hindus migrated to Great Britain and the United States. About 80% of the people of India today are Hindus, and much of Indian art and architecture reflects their traditions. Why do you think Hinduism spread throughout India and into Southeast Asia?